So, good evening, good evening, good evening. We are back again Monday evening, fresh off on the back of our first Premier League win. Hard work, but we got the job done in the end, and that's all that matters. 3 points on the board, especially after Man City winning. But, Jez, how's the weekend been, mate? How are you?
Oh, good, man. All good. Yeah, it was a struggle. Got it over the line. I'll take the 3 points. I wasn't impressed with the performance, and I certainly wasn't impressed with the starting lineup. It's typical Arteta tinkering, messing around, and the one thing I'm sure we will talk about is the fact that Jurriën Timber, absolute bloody disgrace what he did. He done it with Partey, done it again, but we'll talk about that, I'm sure.
Kenny, how are you, mate?
I'm all right. I've had a good weekend. Obviously, the Premiership starting. Obviously, we had to contend with that farce of trying to get into the football ground when, you would have thought that the test event of the new technology would have been the Emirates Cup where there's nothing on it. But, once again, you take advantage and you show no consideration to fans who've been loyal to you for well over 30 or 40 years who come week in, week out. We don't want to upset the kids who don't come here that often, when it would be more appropriate to do that. So that's probably where it all went wrong. And then the team selection didn't impress me. And like Jez says as well, we've lost a really, really good performing player, albeit he's only played a game and a half for about 3 to 4 months now. So that is something, again, why was he allowed to come on for the second half when he was clearly in distress, as clearly injured? It was knee and knee. We could see it. Everyone said it was his leg. One guy who was next to me, and we both agreed, we could see the knee-to-knee contact. So saying that, you don't aggravate it and say, oh, yeah, come and see you can run it off. Arteta's going to blame the medical department, but at the end of the day, he's a coach. He has more sway than the medical department, and he knows it. It's on him.
Yeah, 100%. And has it been confirmed that he's out for 3-4 months? I've seen a lot of people saying that, but I don't know if I don't think the club have actually officially said that, have they? But we always know that when it comes out and it's en masse that everyone's saying it, normally it's there or thereabouts spot on. And sad if he is out for 3-4 months.
Yourself to see Jurriën Timber because normally the club normally send me information via emails of players who get injured. So I just see.
Yeah, smash the likes up, people. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. JEZ'S channel link is in the description as well. Same with Kenny Ken's Insta, so make sure you follow both of them guys as well.
They fear, it's just a fear, and he could be out for a long time. The fact is that if it's what we think it is, it's 3 to 4 months, and that includes a rehab. It's the same sort of injury that JEZ'S has. But if you only have to look at what happened with JEZ'S, he had that injury. He's now feeling the effects of that injury even now. So
he came back, and then all of a sudden he needed another surgery again, didn't he? So that's sad though. If he is out for that long, his first Premier League game for the club, and then bang, out for 3-4 months.
All his plans we've had this season are going up in smoke.
Yeah, 100%. Especially with Zinchenko being out as well, and that one's a mad one as well because he's been out for 4 months. Sorry, 3 months. Yeah, end of May he was out. So June, July, August. He's been out 3 months with a calf injury. Yeah, and we've barely had him fit since he's got it. So, yeah, you're right. The plans are going up in smoke real quick. Jesus is out injured again. But Jez, I know you're itching to go, mate, about throwing Timber back on the pitch. I actually missed it because I went to the toilet at half time. I come back and I see that Tomiyasu was on. So I didn't actually know that he'd brought him back out in the second half. I just thought, okay, we'll wait till half time and get him off. But go on, mate. The stage is yours.
Well, the fact that what annoys me, Lee, Kenny, chat, is that we've seen this arrogant attitude from Arteta on several occasions. I'm sorry. He's a new player, just joined, looks absolute class. He injured himself in a tackle. He goes off half-time. Doctors apparently assess him. And he apparently reports that he was confident. Whether he got a steroid injection in there, I don't know. But I see in the chat a lot of people are saying it's an ACL injury, but it's not been confirmed. I actually did snap my ACL 20 odd years ago, and I can assure you, if you snap your ACL, you can't walk. You cannot walk on it. Your knee just buckles. It's one of the biggest ligaments in the back of your knee. But dear God, I hope he hasn't torn it or something like that. But the arrogance, if that's me, I'm the manager, I'm the coach, right? I've got a new player comes in, he injures himself, he's holding the back of his leg. Doctors say to him, well, we think you're okay. If I'm the manager, I'll say, no. I'm resting you. You ain't going back out, fella. I'm putting on somebody else. Now, somebody correct me. Was Tierney on the bench?
No, he wasn't in the squad.
Okay, fair play. So there's the ideal opportunity then to mix it up at the start of this new second half, right? Get your team ready to move it, because we'd gone flat at the end of that first half, and we all knew Nottingham Forest were going to come on us. And I was proven right, because we were just bloody awful at the start of that second half. And we walked out of the Emirates with a lucky 2-1 win, my opinion. Many will disagree with me. Fair play. I respect that. But what really winds me up, Lee and Kenny, is you don't do that to a new player. If the doctor says, I think it'll be all right, then you say, well, I'm not sure.
Yeah. If he says, I think it'll be all right, then don't even risk it.
Just, tomorrow morning, Sunday, let's get you to the hospital and have a scan, just to make sure it's nothing stupid. And he was on the pitch 5 minutes, and you could see he went down, holding the back of his calf, back of his knee, where your ligaments are. It's a disgrace. And this man has done it time in, time out. He did it with Partey, did it with JEZ'S. I hear people blaming the football pitches at London Colney. There could be evidence there. I would not know. Never been there.
We've heard, sorry to cut you off, we've heard stories many, many times over the years that the training pitches at Colney are extremely hard. Like, they're not like normal football pitch that we play on at the Emirates or other away grounds, for example. Apparently they're rock solid. Yeah, which I don't know. I've never played on them. Yeah, no. But it would be a reason as to why we get so many injuries. Yeah, because if they're falling over in training, they're clattering into each other. I know it's not 100% in training, but they're still going to have a go and be in competitive games, 7-on-7, 5-on-5, 11-11. They're still going to want to win the ball. They're still going to be crunching in, falling over, whacking their feet and knee off the ground. And it all takes its toll in the end. Yeah, and that tackle from Timber, I mean, it was just an innocuous tackle, like nothing in it. Yeah, and now we could have him out for 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Yeah, and maybe it would have only have been 1 month. Who knows if we hadn't have pushed him back on? We don't know. We're not surgeons or doctors, are we? Go on, Kenny.
Thinking about sort of injuries, if you think about the old situation, you think about Ledley King. He had the similar situation. It was knee to knee with Rory Delap 20 years ago. That affected the rest of his career, where he had to come. He was back. He was back. Then he was out. He was back. Then he was out. Then he couldn't train. He had to do his own sort of program where he had to do a lot of swimming. And I think that's the old situation. I've actually played on the London Colney pitches because the University of London, when I went to university, we actually owned London Colney. So there's about 8 pitches, and we used to call the pitch that was big as Highbury at the time Wembley. And I can vouch you, they're all good surfaces, but they're hard, and they all got different like I said, how to say it, surfaces during the winter. Obviously, they looked after and everything because obviously they want to replicate the pitch at Highbury. But there's about 8 pitches. And I know, like, they don't always train on the main one, the big one. They only train on designated times. But the way Arsenal play and the way Arsenal train, it's always with intensity. When Arsenal was there, it was with intensity. Unai was there with intensity. So those injuries will be a situation where it's a match situation where you are doing full-blooded tackles. But in terms of like what happened with Timber on Saturday, we saw the impact injury. We thought it was going to come off. Let's not forget the game was won already. And I don't say it with any sort of disrespect to Nottingham Forest. 2-0 up is a case where, you know, you could have made the changes, albeit, don't get me wrong, you could have you know, brought on Tommy Asu earlier, saved him, but assessed him, and maybe, who knows, he would have been out for maybe about a couple of weeks or not. But the minute he came on a pitch, one of the things with when your knee's already got some sort of damage, you're twisting in it. You go for the ball, you got to twist when you run. You got to twist, turn when you're trying to, you know, when you're trying to get in position, and then you've got to kick the ball. That's all impact on an already slightly damaged knee. So again, the manager, I understand fully that he wants to get everything work, you know, his system working. He wants to have the right players in the right positions. He feels under pressure to have his best team out. But we always say it's a marathon, not a sprint. And he's got more than adequate cover. Don't get me wrong; they're not good enough as compared to what Shinchenko and you know, obviously Timber. But the fact is that you look at Nottingham Forest's lineup. I can tell you now that first half they had no ambition. They tried to hit us on the break. We're grateful for the fact that we didn't show much intensity in that first half, and we just kept winning it by not showing much intensity. But if we upped the ante, we probably would have won comfortably. So again, he has to look at himself and think, you know, don't play players just when they're not fully fit. Don't, you know, like I said, overall, you're a doctor. There's a reason why, you know, we have doctors. Because if you don't need a doctor, you might as well do it yourself. Because right now you've harmed, you know, like the utility of, you know, the progress in the first few games. Because you think about it, we've got a hard game next week, got another hard game at home. Then we've got Man United, which is just a massive game. And then after that, Everton away, which is like playing shot putters. And then it's the North London derby. You want your best players in, you know, available in all those games. And now we're short again.
Yeah, 100%, mate. 100%.
Can I, sorry to interrupt, Lee. I just want to clarify a point. I'm not having a pop. If you tear your ACL, you can walk on it. I snapped mine. I had to have surgery. If you snap it, there's no way your leg can be supported by your knee because it's the main ligament in the back of your knee. If it snaps, your knee just goes. And I did mine on a skiing accident, and I never went skiing again. And you know, if you tear it, fair play. If you look at what happened to Gascoigne, yeah, he couldn't walk. He snapped his, and it's an awful, awful, awful injury. And I hope it's not that. Well, we know it's not a snap, but I hope it's not torn because he'll be out for months and months.
Yeah, it's sad, man. First game of the season, and now he's out. And now we've got to rely on Zinchenko getting fit, which he hasn't been pretty much since he's been here. He's been in and out the team with little niggly injuries, and he's been out since May with a calf strain. Although he did game the other day, but whether he's going to be fit for this weekend or next Monday, should I say, then that remains to be seen. But now, what do we do with Kieran Tierney? Yeah, because
he's not going to play, Lee. He's had it. You know,
well, that's the thing. But if Zinchenko is the only one we can rely on, and even we can't rely on him 100%, then what do we do? Is it Tommy Asu at left back, or are we getting rid of
it's Tommy Asu, Kevin? But I don't know what. You know, we can like summarise from footballing reasons why he's out. But you know, surely when you watch Scotland play, especially in the Euros, when they did play when they played wing back, it was invariably Robertson in that sort of position down the left-hand side. And when they do play back four, Tierney plays in various positions. And he does have, there were a lot of times when he was on the ball. Even that time we won the FA Cup, he played for a wing-backs. Kieran Tierney wasn't a wing-back. That was, you know, that Kieran Tierney wasn't a wing-back when he won the FA Cup against Chelsea. He was in the back three. And it was, what's the lad we just sold? He's from Ilford. Big lad. Fell out. Was that
Maitland-Niles?
Yeah, no, Maitland-Niles. That's right. Yeah, Maitland-Niles. Yeah. So that's the whole situation. I personally think Kieran Tierney can play, you know, like inverted, but what's counted against Kieran is the fact that he's like a very conventional left back where he bombs down the left when we're in attack. We're in the defence. He like I said, he gets close to the right wing or the inverted right winger, and then he asks his like I said, his partner down the left to come and help him out. So there's no overlap. That's old-fashioned conventional left back play. Unfortunately, Arteta don't want to play like that. It's not just Arteta. Pep don't want to do it. Klopp don't want to do it. So it means that if Kieran wants to play for the best teams in Europe, then he's going to have to adapt, change his game, because he will not be playing for any of those big teams. And who knows, if he goes to a Newcastle when they get rid of Eddie Howe and they get a continental manager, he probably won't play then. That's how dire the situation. I don't think it's an Arteta thing. I think it's the way football's moved on now. Kieran is the best conventional left back in the league, but he's not what's required for big teams.
100%.
Anyone can play left back, Lee, I think.
100%. Slightly off topic, breaking news. David Ornstein's just tweeted out that Lavia has chosen to join Chelsea.
Yeah.
Hey, Liverpool are mudded. I can't lie. They are absolutely mudded. I said this the other day. They will end up with Douglas Luiz. Nobody's serious about joining them. Yeah, and I don't know why. Because, yeah, it probably is the money. Yeah, you're probably right, Kenny. It's the money.
It's the money. It's London as well. It's the fact that London. I think, now you think about it. Liverpool, with the fact that they won the the Premiership more recently than Chelsea, they were in the Champions League final 2 seasons ago. They won two cups and League Cup and FA Cup. They've got a better, more experienced manager than Chelsea. There's a better team. They've got world-class front five. Anyone with a footballing ambition would go to Liverpool, but clearly Chelsea are offering them the two moons. Who knows? Maybe he wants to do a willy and open a restaurant around West London with his mates or something. I don't know where it is.
Well, to be honest, it was probably an easy choice because as soon as Chelsea get on the phone to him, they can say, well, look, Liverpool bid 45 million or 40 million for you. They then went and showed their hand and threw 110 million at Caicedo. Now they want to come back in for you. Well, they didn't really want you, did they, mate? Yeah, and now they want to pay over the 45 that they originally bid. Hey, come and join us. Yeah, we're on the upward. They're on the downward. Yeah, they ain't going anywhere. Blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? It's probably an easy conversation to have. You can match the fee. You can match the wages and pay more.
He's agreed personal terms. There's only way, if you don't agree personal terms with a club, then you're not going to say, I prefer to go to Chelsea. Personal terms will have to be agreed with Pochettino and the player, as it was with Caicedo.
Yeah, mad. Absolutely mad. But there we go. Chelsea have sorted their midfield out in one day. So, yeah.
That's one bonus, though, Lee, possibly. Looking ahead, right? Klopp's going to have the right arse over this. So if Arteta cocks up and he gets binned, we could go in for Klopp.
Well, yeah, there is that. Do you think he would come? I don't know.
I think so. Because the amount of money Arsenal spend compared to Liverpool, I think he would. Seriously. And
we've got the same sort of models, then, isn't it, Jez?
Eh?
In terms of how we in terms of the infrastructure that Liverpool, I don't know whether Liverpool copying us or we're copying them. It's quite similar in terms of like the how we want to do things. Although I think with Liverpool, they have this sort of like like Brighton when they try to scout a player, they have this sort of they go for a stats lead. What's that? They use a sort of like a kind of a system, isn't it? Where they they use like a stat system where they put all the requirements of what wants where at what De Zerbi wants in a player, and they come out with a name and said, right, that's the player that we found for you. Would you be interested? And I think they definitely do that at Liverpool, which means I don't know if they do it at Arsenal because we sit where they do. Who everyone's praising as this clever clause because he's going to get a Raya on loan.
Yeah, I think the thing is, Kenny, I think we've got to look to the future.
Mm.
I'm just putting it out there. I'm putting it out there that, look, we've spent a shed load of money.
Mm.
If he doesn't win something major, and I'm talking Premier League or Champions League, I'm not talking FA Cup or the Carrier Bag Cup. I'm talking he's got to win big. He's got to go.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry.
I think unanimously, as part of this panel, we all agreed that you can't be unlucky 3 times. We're unlucky when we didn't get the top 4. We're unlucky when we didn't win the league. You can't, be unlucky, especially as Lee stated. He's only been here 4 years, and we spent at least, like I said, north of 650 million pounds on new players. And that could be. We could pay even more than that because obviously we've got an injury to Timber now, and obviously there's a striker situation where we're talking about players we're going to get in, but we've only got rid of Xhaka, so there'd be more money being made available hopefully in the next few weeks. So he can't say that he hasn't had the financial backing from the club.
Oh no, I'm not saying that. I totally agree with you. My point I'm trying to make is that we've got to be aware. Well, if I was on the Arsenal board personally, right, I'd be assessing this by, let's say, in 10 games time.
Yeah.
Right. I'd be looking at this thinking, right, okay, how have we done? How many points have we got? Well, we didn't win this game. We didn't win that game. We draw that one. So I'd be looking to the future and thinking, maybe by Christmas we need to, sort the team driver out as they do in bloody Formula One. They're looking, thinking, no, this guy ain't making it. Let's move on.
I agree with you because you think about
look ahead. Any business.
We have to, because last season we knew that by the World Cup last season we only lost 1 game, and in order for us to make our challenge for the title, we won our first 5 games. The 6th one we lost to Man United. Then we won on a run where we won every game, and then we played Southampton, and then after that we won every game until we played Newcastle. So you think about it, the thing that got us into this sort of title challenge was we're getting maximum points in about, say, 80-90% of our games. That's how you make a title challenge. We have to negotiate a way of winning our first 6 games. Doesn't matter if it's Tottenham at home, Man United at home, Everton away, or Crystal Palace away. We have to marry up playing without Timber, trying to carry Declan Rice and Havertz, not because they're bad players, because they're trying to fit into our new way of playing and win the games. That is going to be like a job and a half, but it has to be done, because if we don't win our first 6 games, we're not going to change.
No, I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you.
Yeah, same. Let's get on to the game. We start with you, Jez. What did you make of it overall? And for me, it was a little bit lackluster. I expected us to come out the traps 100 mile an hour. We know that they were going to sit back. They were going to be compact. I think we're going to see that a lot this season, because after slapping up quite a lot of teams last season, I don't think they're coming to the Emirates to play football this year. I think they're all going to park the bus, and we need to find a way around that, which is why I was shocked that Trossard didn't start, because he's probably our most technically gifted player. Maybe you could put JEZ'S in that bracket as well, but it win free kicks, he's tricky, left foot, right foot, and he's clinical. So I was shocked he didn't start. Whilst you're going and talking your talk, mate, I'm going to sort my Mac out because it is bugging out. I'll be back in a minute.
Well, I thought the starting lineup was weird. I can't but say I thought it was bizarre. We've got our best, my view, midfielder at right back. We've then got Benjamin White at centre midfield defence. No, we know that's not his best position. All last season, he played right back, and I thought he had a great season. Personally, I thought he's awesome. Gabriel's on the bench. Jurriën Timber, I'll go with him. But midfield, I'd have had Trossard. we all knew he was going to play Havertz because £65 million. He's got to shoehorn him into the team. So I get that. I get that. But my team lineup, Kenny, on that game, right? This is what I'd have gone with, right? He wants Havertz to start, yeah, okay. I've got Martinelli, yeah, up front with Saka, Havertz behind them. So I'm going to 2-1-3-4, right? We've then got, yeah, the midfield with Partey in there, Odegaard, yeah, and then the defence would have been Ben White, yeah, and then we've got Saliba, Gabriel, Timber. I just don't understand why he has to keep tinkering and fiddling with things, because we were lacklustre for the first 10 minutes. We then got into it. 2 lovely goals. I mean, bit of magic by Martinelli. And then a great goal from Saka. I just don't. I find it annoying more than anything. I find it annoying. Mess around all the time. Why do that, man? But I mean, I've said don't fix something that's broken.
I think I can one way. It's like, when people talk about the selection of Havertz in the team, but they don't really talk much about the fact that Gabriel was left out for no reason whatsoever. So what that's telling me now is that you're leaving out Gabriel because if you were to pick your best Arsenal team and you kind of marry it up how the manager wants to play in terms of playing that inverted style, and everyone's fit, you go in goal because of what the manager wants. It's Raya. Nothing personal against Aaron Ramsdale, but you're going by facts. I.e., he's been trying to get the goalkeeper for 3 years, and he was going for Onana, which means he wants to play a goalkeeper who has excellent distribution. Then you go right back. You know that Timber can play right back and centre half, so you go Timber right back. Left back, you go Zinchenko, because that's how he wants to play. And in the centre half, so you don't disrupt the centre half team. And then you go in the midfield and you go, right, Thomas Partey, Declan Rice, interchange between the both of them. Odegaard, your captain, and then your front three, if everyone's fit, reluctantly, you may have, because you bought Havertz, you have to play Havertz, Martinelli, and Saka. But if Jesus was fully fit, then one of those three would have to go. A casualty could have been Martinelli. Now, I'm not saying it because he's a bad player, because you all rate Martinelli extremely highly, but we got England here, £65 million Havertz, who he feels can play, either position. You've got a situation where you've got, you don't want to disrupt the midfield. So the only way you disrupt it, you're a disruptor is if you disrupt the front three. And if everyone's saying that James is the main, then Martinelli could be a casualty. And I think that's the whole situation. What he did is that he's catered for his new players. He's said to Declan Rice, right, we have Thomas Partey, who was our DM last season. He's probably our best player, but your best position is DM when you're at West Ham. So we'll play you at DM. We'll don't worry about Partey. He can play right back for me. And then we go at Havertz. So no, don't worry about Partey. Partey as well. You can play you in that midfield. And then because we might need Eddie to kind of close down. So he's put square pegs round holes to accommodate players. And then the biggest elephant in the room, which no one really speaks about that much, is he's always seems to find a way to accommodate Benjamin White in that team, in that back four, no matter what. Last season, when he disrupted the back four, Thomas Partey, when he did reintegrate him into the football team, he played right back. Where did Declan Rice play? Oh, in centre half. And it was convenient for him because Saliba was injured. Saliba's now fit. So you would have thought that if he's still tinkering, White misses out, but he didn't. He didn't drop White.
Kenny, Kenny, I could be talking completely out of my arse here. Do you remember when we bought what was it, Luis from Chelsea?
Yes.
Proven fact that when he got that contract, he was obligated to play a certain number of games, and I know that is fact.
Yes.
And that's come from a very, very, very reliable source. I would not be at all surprised if Havertz's agent hasn't got that clause in his contract that he has to play a certain amount of games with appearances, blah blah blah. He may have a goal bonus thrown in there somewhere.
You wouldn't rule it out, but even
this is what we all see.
No, we see the same with Xhaka. Xhaka and Bellerin both had that in their contracts as well. Yeah. Bellerin, I think, had to play 32 games a season if he was fit. Xhaka had to play 30, which is why when we were going through all that banter, and both of them were lining up in the team every week, we're like, why are you playing? Well, that's why, because it's in their contracts. Yeah, and you've made a good point there, Jez, because so far, I know pre-season, cool, whatever, but first game of the season, he shuffled that whole team in and upside down, back to front and inside out to accommodate him. Yeah, because the front three is the front three. Cool, we didn't want Eddie starting. Well done, he scored, good finish, whatever. Yeah, but he's a striker. He's playing striker. The other two are playing in their positions. Odegaard's in his position. Rice is kind of in his position because he is a 6, but we thought he was coming in to play 8. Now all of a sudden, that's what I thought. That's what Mikel Arteta's even said it. The idea is to play Rice and Partey. He said it on record the other day when we was in Miami or wherever it was. Yeah, he said, Partey won't believe it. The idea is, and the dream I've had is to play them together. So why are you then moving him to number 6, Partey to right back, Ben White to centre back, Saliba to left centre back, Timber to left back to put Havertz in the team? That makes no sense. This is prime Wenger on his downfall. This is going up to Anfield and Oxlade-Chamberlain at right back. Like, this is the levels I'm looking at. And like, yes, we won the game. Cool, fantastic. Yeah, the result is all that matters. But, mate, he needs to fix that real quick because he needs to sit there and say, no, Timber's not a left back anyway. Yeah, Timber's a centre back who can play right back. He's not a left back. Yeah, Declan Rice, we thought was coming in at number 8. Havertz has never played centre mid in his life, and now all of a sudden he's starting. But then in the game against City the other week, he was up front. So yeah, you might be onto something there, Jez. You might be onto something.
I think it's goal selections, in terms of team selection.
Sorry, Kenny. Sorry, mate. Yeah. Every time we buy a player from Chelsea, right? Play. Whether they've been good. I mean, when we had David Luiz, right? The first game he played against Fulham, I thought, wow. After that, who is this fella? He's absolute pony.
Yeah, same with William.
Yeah.
Against Fulham as well.
Yeah. And I'm like, what is going on? And I am convinced that when they sign their contracts, they have to play, as you quite rightly said, if they're fully fit, they have to play. And I think that's a very, very poor negotiating stance. If it's true, and I'm only surmising, if that's true, that's a very poor negotiating stance from Arsenal. Because if Arsenal are spending £65 million on a player, they will say, no. This is how we see it.
Yeah, this is our terms, not your terms, mate. You're out of favour at Chelsea. We're prepared to buy you, but you're coming in on our terms. But do you know what's crazy? He's our third most expensive player ever.
Yeah.
That's mad.
But the manager's going to have to have a plan for the player, and he has to find a way to start games. I always, I was on a show yesterday, and people say, "How is the manager going to cope with a big squad?" My answer is a simple one: go deep in every competition. You say, "Oh, how can I keep everyone happy?" Well, you've got the FA Cup, you've got the League Cup, you've got the Champions League.
£8 million a year for.
That's the thing. You've got to. You cannot say you cannot compete with all those trophies. You haven't got the resources. You had the resources. I mean, Smith Rowe was running the flanks, warming up. You know, can any of us find a place for Smith Rowe in the side, hand on heart? Can
No.
you, Jez? Hand on heart?
He's behind every single one of our left wingers, and he's behind Odegaard for sure.
Yeah, but you can keep with that.
And he's behind Declan Rice in the number 8 position. So he ain't getting in the team.
FA Cup. If you go deep in the FA Cup and League Cup, you can get him involved.
Yep. Same with Tomiyasu. Same with Tierney. Yeah. Same with Jorginho. Yeah. Same with Eddie when Jesus is fit. Yeah. Same with Trossard if we ain't going to start him every week. You know, and this is the thing. You can't sit there crying last season saying we've got a thin squad and we can't compete. Yeah. And then this season say, how's he going to manage a big squad? Well, that's why he's got the job. To manage the squad, to manage and rotate the players, and to ultimately go deep in every competition. Listen, at the end of the day, if we don't win anything this season, but we lose 2 finals, yeah, and we miss out on the league by 1 point, I don't think anyone or even, yes, we'll probably still be pissed off. I don't think anyone's going to be sitting there losing their shit over it. 2 finals, cool, we bottled it. We bottled the title by 1 point. But it ain't last season where we threw 3 cups in the bin and then bottled the title 8 points clear.
It'd be criminal. It'd be criminal for him to do that. For the simple reasons that, yeah,
sorry,
we should do because.
I'm sorry, mate. Sorry, Kenny. I'm over talking.
No, that's right. That's right.
Sorry, mate. If you've spent all this money, right, I expect a big trophy, and I'm not expecting anything less. We capitulated in the league, right? 8 points cleared, ahead. Top of the league for 248 bloody days, and it falls apart because of poor tactics, poor substitutions, awful bloody decisions, a squad that wasn't deep enough. No, I'm sorry, I'm not accepting that. If he cannot get us over the line for a major trophy, right, he has to go at the end of next season. And I know I totally agree with you, what you're telling me, right? That there'll be loads. Oh, well, you know, we got close, we come second. Oh, we're in the FA Cup.
I never said I'd think that. Jesus. I just said that would be the general consensus. It'd be we got 2 finals, etc.
I'm just saying, I'm talking about, we know the millions of people that watch a certain channel, they'll be happy with it. And there'll be a certain amount of the fan base that go to the ground will be happy with it. Yeah. Sorry, I won't. I've seen this club achieve greatness in my lifetime, and I want to come back again. So I'm not going to accept people talking to me and telling me, "Oh, well, it was all right because we come second. Oh, we got into, we got into the Champions League. We got the semi-final. Oh, but no. When you spend that money, man. Sorry, Kenny. I'm ranting.
No, you're right. The thing is, yes, you've got every right to say it because the same people come out of that rubbish are the same people who will come out of some banal nonsense that, you know, you would have been happy to forfeit at the beginning of the last season. And, you know, we're a young squad. All those kind of obstacles or excuses are not there anymore because of the fact that we've got a massive squad where we've got a lot of quality. You know, we've got quality players who won't be starting games for this football club. We're about to get a quality goalkeeper who we believe is going to replace the sitting tenant in goal. If we replace the sitting tenant like I think he's going to replace the sitting tenant, there's still an international who's a number 2. The number 1's an international for Spain. So you can't say that we can't compete at those. But the same people come out that who categorize you for saying, "Oh yeah, why are you unhappy if we finish second and we get to a final?" They're the same people who think we had a great game on Sunday. Why are you moaning? We won. Why are you moaning? Oh, people like that. It's poor analysis because we didn't because we won and you still find problems. The fact is that these are the same people who think that Man City and Chelsea are bigger clubs than Arsenal. They're the same people that laugh at Liverpool, call them a small club because they are modern fans who do not know their football, who have very limited ambitions for this football club. Because the more you limit the ambitions for this football club, the more you keep on side with the football club itself, and you keep on side with the vocal minority who put themselves forward of fans who think that they're majority, and that they should just support the club no matter what.
But not only that, if you have the bar so low in your expectations for a season, if you go over that, then it looks like a great achievement. Yeah, well, let's be real. We've gone 8th, 5th, 2nd. The only way you can improve this season is win the title. Yeah, otherwise,
some fans don't see it that way.
Stagnated.
Fans don't say it. To this day, we have fans who think that we're not as big as Man City and Chelsea. That us and Man United should be grateful just to challenge, just to win the odd trophy in there. They genuinely believe it. But the thing is, these guys actually think that they got a right to actually, propel that kind of rubbish on national TV or on their podcast. People listen to these guys, and that's the danger. They're a danger to our ambitions this season. They need to either keep their own thoughts to themselves, or discuss themselves by all means. But don't go and provide that kind of information to people who don't know better, because the manager has refuted everything you guys have said about the size of this football club and the ambitions. He said he was on the verge of quitting his job because he felt that he failed. That's the manager.
Yeah, he was ready to leave. Yeah, he also said that second ain't success. He also said that the aim is to win trophies, major honours. So it's about time he starts delivering, because talk is cheap, mate. Yeah, and at the end of the day, that performance was not great. And if that's how we're going to go this season, and it reminded me of the first full season he was here. Didn't know his best 11, didn't really have any set style of play. Whereas last season, we actually see a style of play. That at the weekend was going back to 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like, wow, hang on a minute, mate. Like, we're going to get battered a couple of times at the Emirates if you play like that. Yeah, there was no tempo, no nothing. Other than give the ball to Saka and Martinelli and hope for the best. What did we do? Yeah, and let's be real, as good as they both are, they ain't going to be able to do it week in, week out. Yeah, when every single team that comes to the Emirates, pretty much, or most of the teams that come to the Emirates, are going to play exactly how they played. They're going to park the bus within the width of the 18-yard box and say, cool, we'll get round us. Every time Saka gets the ball, bang, 3 players on him. Yeah, and even if you look at his goal, yeah, he dropped his shoulder and sort of feinted to come back inside, but then went outside and went straight in. That gave him a yard. And the guy even put him off balance, and he was just good technique, and he put it top corner. On another day, he shanks out or falls over the ball. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? You can't rely on worldies every week. You can't rely on Martinelli doing a mad bit of skill every week. You have to find a style of play. And listen, it is only the first game. But, mate, I see enough of us in pre-season to know that this guy don't know his best 11. He's brought 3 players into this squad, 4 with the goalkeeper now, and he's still trying to accommodate. And like all I kept hearing during pre-season, that's the time to experiment. Well, he was experimenting on the first Premier League game. Gabriel Magalhaes plays every week if he's fit. I don't care what anyone tells me. Yeah, and I don't put him right up here, but I'll tell you something, he's a lot better than anyone else playing there. Saliba didn't look good at that side.
No.
Yes, Saliba didn't look the solid Saliba that he does when he's playing right side, because it's not as comfortable for him.
No.
Yeah, and I don't buy into this left footer plays left side and all that crap. But same time, somebody put in the chat earlier, Urian Timber's playing left back. That's not a natural position for him. Yeah, it's not. He's a centre back, a right-sided centre back. So a right-sided centre back or right back position is natural to him. Yeah, when you're playing players that in unnatural positions, Thomas Partey, right back. I mean, come on. Yeah, like, what, did he sit there and watch us against Brighton and go, right, Caicedo was man of the match against us at right back, so I'll have a go doing that this season? Like, is this where he gets it from? Because we've got Crystal Palace next. That ain't an easy game.
No.
Yeah, Fulham, I don't know, that ain't easy either. None of these London derbies are easy. I know we made them look easy last season, but this ain't last season. Yeah, and as much as we've all sat here and gone in on Granit Xhaka at times, the one thing I'll say about Granit Xhaka, yeah, is he does give us a bit of balance, and a lot more balance than Kai Havertz will ever give us in midfield.
Bring him back.
We want you to stay, Granit. We want you to stay. But it's going to be a long season, man, a very long season. And, you know, when I'm looking at some of these other teams, Man City, I've seen people saying they weren't great. Burnley could have scored. Well, Burnley didn't score, did they?
No.
Yeah, Burnley could have scored, the same as Johnson could have scored against us. He didn't, did he? Like, could have, didn't. Yeah, but the one thing you say about Arsenal compared to Man City, Pep will get it right. Yeah, we're hoping Arteta gets it right. And that's the difference. We're living on hope. Man City ain't worried. Yeah, they could go and lose their next 3 games. They're still in the league. Yeah, Kevin De Bruyne's out injured. That ain't worrying them. They're going to go and buy Paqueta from West Ham. Yes, they'll overpay for him, but they need that player. The same as we needed Declan Rice. We had to overpay for him. You know, so sometimes you just got to analyze it properly rather than with rose-tinted glasses on, because you're hoping the manager's going to come good. There's a lot of people that go to that stadium every week, yeah, that are worried, that are concerned, yeah, and there's a lot of people that also don't want to say what they think because they see people like us get abuse every single day for saying it. So they just sit and go, "Oh, okay, I'll just go with the flow." When the reality is there is a tipping point at some point, and at some point that tipping point is going to be reached, because if we go and lose 3 out of our next 9 games, for example, all of a sudden you watch how different this fan base is.
Yeah.
It'd be like a massive disappointment, because you look, we have to go like through all the games. Obviously, we still got the Man United game with Wolves, and with Wolves selling, you know, the family silver, including probably the goalposts, Man United should win comfortably. So we've had a look at all the teams, and you obviously can't judge it off one game. But if you want to go by one game, the team that is levels above everyone else is still Man City. They're still the team to beat. That's why you, by all means, you know, you can't play your best football all the time, but you've got to find a way to win, because if they get away from us, we're going to find it very difficult to catch them, even if they do have a blip, because, you know, teams are going to raise their game against us because of what happened last season. You know, they are going to, you know, try and raise their sort of their physicality and their fitness, because we outran them in quite a lot of the games in the beginning of the season. So it's going to be on our side. Plus we've got injuries as well. It's one of the things that, you know, he's going to have to, you know, utilize a lot of the players that he, you know, like the tri-sides as well, because place are up for grabs next Monday at Crystal Palace. You know what I mean? Crystal Palace, you know, they've lost what's the name? They've lost Zaha, but they still got Eze still. You know, they're trying to get I'm hearing they're trying to get Shay Adams from Southampton, who's a competent striker. There was rumours about Hudson-Odoi, although Hudson-Odoi is more likely to go for them. But all
still got Elise as well. He ain't gone there.
Elise, I don't know if he's fit enough, because I know he injured his hamstring for France under 21. But
I do think we'll probably beat.
It's going to be an hard game.
I do think we'll beat them, but at the same time, it wouldn't surprise me one bit if we lost.
If we show the intensity that we showed against not the Forest, or lack of it, then we're going to find it hard, because you know, let's not forget, Jez, you talk about his great bits of skills, you and Lee, on Saturday. We only scored the goals because we showed intensity and won the ball back. We've done it for the ball back, especially the second goal. Saliba's robbed Morgan Gibbs White, and then freed the ball to Saka. He's put in a worldie. The second goal from the first goal from Martinelli, he's won the ball back. You know, like I said, in a deep position. Then he's gone on a sprint, and then he's taken out a couple of defenders with a bit of skill and gave it to Weddy. After that, where was the intensity? Where was the work rate? I didn't see enough of it.
Nope, nor did I. And we talked about that, and that concerns me, mate. We all know that going Palace away is not an easy place to go and play. It's a very old, tight little stadium. The fans are relentless, and I'm sorry, Mr. Arteta's got to get that absolutely bang on, because otherwise we'll be in trouble. I'm sorry, and I will put money on it. Havertz starts, because I honestly believe there is something there in the contract. I honestly do.
You'll probably start him up front.
Oh, probably.
He might have to. He might have
to try and hold the ball up and get the wingers away on the counter. That's probably what we're trying to do.
You know what's killed Eddie, though? Eddie scored in the first half, but in the second half, he was anonymous. He looked absolutely knackered.
Yeah,
he wasn't doing the good things that he was doing in the first half. He wasn't pressing. He wasn't harrying the goalkeeper put him under pressure, putting Ty under pressure like he did in the first half, and he wasn't giving the defenders any kind of physical pressure.
Even in the first half, Matty was sat there. Me, Ola, and Matty was sat doing the watch along. Jez, you was in the comments, and Matty sat there and he said, "Just watch Eddie. Don't watch the game. Just watch Eddie." And we watched him for 5 minutes solid. No runs, no movement, just walking around in a circle, jumping on the spot. Yeah, and it was like, are you actually going to try and make a run over the top when the winger's got the ball? Because now they can whip the ball over. You run off the back of the centre half. Now you might be in and tap it in. Yeah, you might be offside. Depends how well you time you run. Then he did actually do that. And he was about 4 yards offside, looking straight down the line. Yeah, and we're like, this guy is not good enough. And when you look at the amount of money we've spent as a football club since this manager's been here, he is still in this team. I'm sorry, but you ain't going nowhere with him up front. Yeah, he might bag 10, 15 goals this season. Good luck to him. But ultimately, it won't win us anything. No. Yeah, you need a killer. He ain't a killer. Yeah, he is a good off the bench for the last 10 minutes, nick you a goal if you're Crystal Palace, West Ham, Everton, with all due respect to them teams. He is not an off the bench player for Arsenal or even a starter for Arsenal. Yeah, not good enough. Yeah, it really isn't. And it frustrates me because there's a few players here that are not good enough. Yeah, and we could get rid of him and Balogun and get 80 million quid for the pair. Yeah, we could get rid of Fabio Vieira.
One of them don't want to play for us.
Yeah, one of them's not interested in being here, and the other one's living a dream. Get rid of the pair of them. You've got 80 million. Now go and buy a proper striker. It just winds me up because we're so close to actually doing something, but we're always 2 players short. Yeah, and again, it'll be the case. And then next season, it'll be, let him go again, give him another 200 million, and around and round. Now it's 5 full seasons, then it's 7 full seasons, 9 full. All of a sudden, he's gone a decade without winning anything. Get rid of him. Yeah, but do you know what the thing I will say before we wrap this up? If we do get rid of him, right, do we genuinely believe that this board are actually going to go and hire someone with a bit of bollocks? Or are they just going to go and get De Zerbi? I see a quote from De Zerbi earlier. Let's see if I saved it. I think I saved it. Smash the likes up, people. Make sure you sub to JEZ'S channel, link in description, and Kenny's Insta, link in description. Let me see if I saved it. Yeah, I did save it. There we go. I don't work to win trophies. My target is to enjoy and be happy. Direct quote from De Zerbi. I do not work to win trophies. Sorry, mate.
We can't have him here then. I want you here. Don't come to Arsenal then.
If we get rid of Arteta at some point in the next year, 2 years, 10 years, nailed on, that's the guy that gets the job.
Well, I don't want him here. If he's not going to win trophies, I don't want him here.
Jesus.
I want somebody that's ruthless, mate. Yeah, somebody ruthless. Yeah, throw the bag at Simeone. Yeah, but then all you get out of this fan base is, he plays negative football. Who gives a toss? I grew up on George Graham 1-0 boring the shit out of every team. Yeah, at the end of the season, we lifted trophies. It ain't boring if you're winning. Like, at the end of the day, what George Graham went 1 year without a trophy in 9 years.
Yeah. 1-0 to the Arsenal. There you go.
Mad. Actually mad. But there we go. Anyway, Jez, what you got coming up, mate?
Wednesday evening, 6 p.m, Mr. Lee Gunner and Mr. Kenny King.
Oh, yes. That's me.
Oh, yes.
For a weekly chat. We'll chat about everything, and then we'll chat about the upcoming game, Palace away. Always an interesting match, that one. And anything else that happens in between with Arsenal. We might have further news about Jury and Timber, that it's not a serious injury. I hope not. And we'll go from there, man. Yeah, 6 p.m. Wednesday, Arsenal history and more. And we'll have a good old banter.
Well, I know what I'm doing, Danny. I know what I'm doing this Wednesday. I'm with both of you. We're going to have a chat. And obviously, next Monday, I will be in the away end at Selhurst Park. It's one of, let's just hope that I'm not in front of that big pole, but I probably am. Because, like when you're kicking north towards their passionate was it the Hamstel end? Oh, my God. They are the noisiest fans ever.
That's my favourite away day.
Yeah, and
them in Newcastle, they're crazy.
Small. But you know what? One thing is that it's Fulton Heath, nice little place. I'm sure there's a lot. If you want, all the world's foods, just as soon as you get at Fulton Heath station, just walk on your right turn left as if you're going towards the hill, and as if just before the Sainsbury's, there's some nice little West Indian foods out there for you, and a bit of African food, as well. If you want to have a bit of spot of supper before the match.
There you go. Maybe some of my players could. Maybe Fabio Vieira could get himself in there, mate.
he needs some yam and a few bits of
come on.
Black chicken and maybe some jollof rice to beef them up a bit.
But maybe I should get on that diet.
True.
I'm going live with Henry Wright TV right now. As soon as I end this stream, it'll throw you straight in there. So go and spam his chat with turtle emojis, because they have now got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at their stadium this month. They're on world tour. Yeah. So spam his chat with the turtle emoji. I'm going to ruin him. So it's the only football club in the top or big 6 clubs that I can actually take the piss out of. Yeah. The rest of them, they just come back with, where's your Champions League? So other than that. But tomorrow I'm back with rants on here at 2:30. Straight after that, the most tapped live chat I've ever seen in my life with Terry Flewers. So make sure you come and check that out at 3:30. And then Wednesday with Jez. So plenty more to come. Tonight also, I'm doing a Man United watch along on Lee Reacts. So come and check that out as well. Going live at about 20 minutes or so before the kickoff. But man, spam Henry Wright's chat with turtle emojis. Big up Jez, big up Kenny, big up the chat. We're out of here. Laters.